No really strict agenda here. We're just going to kind of go around and each of us talk about our photography for a few minutes. Any questions, feel free. Thanks again for coming out. And I think Mitch is going to kick us off here. Take it away, Mitch.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Mitch Nelles. I'm a member of BAPSI. My 4 images that were accepted, we hung up 3 here and the one on the end. I'm mostly a black and white photographer. I look for scenes of high contrast.
Two groups of photos from 2 different, even 3 projects, but 2 different kind of projects. One is this pinhole photography, and next 3 works is this documentary color photography. So first I will speak about this, and then we can move further. Speaking about this work, it is a series which called Entrance to the Void, where we try to capture our feelings from United States. It was shoot in different places, mainly in San Francisco and Bay Area, but also Boston, Las Vegas, and I think, but also we have photos from different places and national parks. Like our previous experience, and these documentary projects could a little bit shed a light on that time of our photography workspace. So this photo was done as a part of project Deportation, and it was shot in land of native people, which like indigenous people, which called Karachai people, which was considered during the Second World War as like loyal to Soviet government, and they was deported to Kazakhstan as a whole nation.
I discovered I was spending an awful lot of time in bed as I'm older, and so because my brain and my eyeballs never shut off, I was looking around, and I noticed, and I thought, I've never seen pictures like this. And so I have this group of pictures of beds that I submitted to this show, which was called A Measure of Uncertainty, because I think in a weird way, you're very uncertain when you go to sleep. Are you going to wake up? You know, and you have to kind of give up every single thing about yourself in order to relax enough to go to sleep. And if you really think about that, I don't know how we sleep at all. You know, it's just like, wow. And then I started asking people, and I have a friend who's an Episcopalian priest, and she told me that in the religion, it's often sleep is often referred to as death, pre-death, or practice death, or, you know, now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep if I die before, right, that kind of thing, right? So I knew that's what this was about, but I put these pictures up for the show, but Heather found these other 2 in another body of work that I did when we traveled to Cambodia and we went to the killing fields.
Yeah, of course. My name is Angelika, and I do, for this show, my collages were picked. So how I do these here, my cut-up photographs put together in a different way. So most of my images, there's like a couple of family images, found images, that are incorporated, but all the other stuff is my images cut up. So the collages are very personal to me, and I started those during the pandemic. So I wanted to do something with my hands. I had to do a lot of like online teaching, so I was tired of sitting in front of a monitor, so I thought like I need something to do with my hands, and that's kind of what it started. I really enjoy it. So there's some self-portraiture in it. As Ari always said, I have a theme with eggs. They pop up everywhere. And then
Cindy Stokes out of Redwood City. And over the last half dozen years or so, I've expanded from doing photography that is two-dimensional to shaping paper, sometimes including photographs like these do, and sometimes just plain paper. So I'm as much a sculptor as a photographer at this point. So, as several people have said, the name of the show is A Measure of Uncertainty, and so we were all trying to respond to that in some way. And I had spent time, I like to spend time out in nature. I hike a lot, even just driving through, and I spent several weeks in Idaho last year in one area that's really volcanic. And I was just so struck, we didn't know the name of the show at that point, but I was photographing and experiencing the place of this mishmash of order and chaos. And some of the areas, you know, the lava that erupted a couple thousand years ago, that was the most recent eruption at Craters of the Moon, which is where it was. It cools off in a very ordered sort of way, and some of it is just really just chaotic and rough and all over the place. And there's so many different landforms, and I
was actually from Death Valley. This is, for me personally, it relates to uncertainty. The curator didn't know, but I was in between jobs. I was working at a startup, didn't, you know, really thrive there. Didn't go anywhere, so I decided to leave. And whoever has worked at a startup knows that this can be very stressful. So I was really worn down and I needed to go out. So I decided to spend the week in Death Valley. Maybe the desert is not the best place to revitalize, but on the other hand, it's very, you know, it's very slow there. It's very calming down, and I had never been there, so I wanted to go there. And those two pictures, this one is two people walking out of the canyon, basically it's this duality. They walk into the light, but at the same time, because it's sundown, they walk into the night, right? So it's this, in some sense, uncertainty.
This is my work. It's part of the project Kind Grandfather's Island. I started it in 2021 when I came back to my village. Like pandemic started, and I came back to my village, and I've noticed what happened with my village. Nothing left. Everything looks like it was destroyed, and people abandoned these places. So I had an idea like what's going on with villages in Russia. So I decided to went through different villages through different regions of Russia, and to make a kind of a portrait of what remains after pandemic and during pandemic. And kind of uncertainty here that these images was taken in completely different places in Russia, but you cannot understand where, because they looks like from one place. And yeah, so this one was taken in my like home village in the south of Russia, and this was taken in the north of Russia, in, near North Pole, and this one was taken in the it's called Ural, it's near Siberia, so it's at 3 different worlds.
The name of this project that I completed is called Taggart-Barone, and it is the epoch that is going to be after the Anthropocene that we're in right now. And Taggart-Barone means now dead epoch. So these are future landscapes of our Earth when there's no viable life left on it, for whatever reason. Could be because we're acting foolish, or it could just be just the evolution of time. The symbols represent future people that managed to get off the planet because they were very highly evolved, very intelligent, and they were cooperative instead of competitive. So they figured out a way to get off the planet to a more verdant land that they could live on. And they got this idea to send back an archaeological teams to go and photograph their ancient home, which is what these are. The machines that they sent back were equipped with very complex AI systems to chart the chemical makeup,
that's there in the air, on the ground, the mineral composition, what this may have been when there were humans living here, and what they can do ethically to keep it from happening again. So it's a learning tool. And this is their language. This copper is conducts electricity, and they read it by running their fingers along it, and it gives them the information that has been gathered by the AI cameras and the machines that came to photograph.
My name is Chad Amory. Just want to say thank you for coming out today. We're BAPC. We have another one of our artist talks on February 7th, I believe, with the remaining artists. That'll be talking about their work. Thank you to Melissa and Harvey Milk Photo Center for having us. It's been great. So not much backstory to my stuff. I shoot people. Well, I shoot people in the streets. Sorry, I like to go out with my camera in big, giant cities, preferably, and walk around and not ask for permission and shoot whatever I want.
We were talking about that earlier.
These were all taken in Southeast Asia, with the exception of this one. This is good old Oakland. These two were shot this was shot in Mumbai, India last year. This one was in Varanasi, India. And this was shot in Bangkok in 2024. Yeah, it's kind of, I go out and I like to shoot through objects. Like example, this is through a cab, old cab in Mumbai. I'm drawn to color, I'm drawn to scratches and grit and graffiti and color and abstract, and I tend to be gravitating more towards abstract as I move forward with my photography. But yeah, I like blurring out objects. I like silhouetting objects. Rarely do I shoot anything that you can actually see someone's face that's, you know, readable or anything.